What makes something good or bad? I guess the true answer always lies in the eye of the beholder. That's the thing with opinions. They're sometimes different and sometimes not so much. And as with everything, this also applies to the sacrifice, the much anticipated quest, and Umbra, the much anticipated Warframe. So today I want to ask the question, did it deliver? And try to answer it without spoilers. I know, not easy, but let's give it a shot. I'm Deuce, and thanks in advance for watching. We all came to the sacrifice expecting something to end, to provide us with some closure. Well, it doesn't. The sacrifice is Warframe's Empire Strikes Back, saving the obvious differences, of course. Weird thing is, it was advertised as a Return of the Jedi. Weird reference, I know, but you'll understand once you play the story. You see, the sacrifice isn't like the Second Dream or the War Within. These were self-contained stories inside an overarching plot. But the sacrifice, it's something else entirely. So much is revealed, and at the same time so many questions still linger. This quest has two sides. One for those who haven't followed the game's lore, and another for those who have. There is that superficial layer, where the obvious plays out, answers are provided, and the natural to be continued plotline is also there. Then you have the deeper things, the moments where you find those little treasure troves that constitute a beautiful love letter to those who have spent years piecing the puzzle of the game's lore together. There is so much underneath, so much to be dissected and analyzed. For every question answered, there's another that springs to life, like a whisper, soft and warm. Length doesn't always equate to quality, at least not for me. You can tread for hours like we did in the Glass Gambit without any true purpose, and the sacrifice appears to agree with me. Its pacing is incredibly good, almost no filler missions, save a couple that could have been shrunk into one. Everything you do feels relevant to the plot. There is no padding, so every moment feels right. The sacrifice focuses on telling a story, not something else, and this is, in my opinion, its greatest strength. From a technical perspective, you can say that its narrative is incredibly solid, a step up when compared to previous and similar experiences. A special mention must be made to the sound design within the quest itself. The game's sound team has been stepping up their game considerably in the last few months, and the audible experience brought to us by the sacrifice does not disappoint. On the contrary. Some could downplay this aspect, since you might go through the quest while talking to some friends over Discord or just listening to your own music. But sound design complements an experience. It's an incredibly important part of the immersion process. Games like Halo or The Witcher are prime examples on that. Now, I'm not saying that Warframe has the type of impact that Halo or The Witcher have in that department, but we all shuddered when This Is What You Are played during the Second Dream. And there are some pieces during the sacrifice that provoked in me a similar reaction. What I want to say is kudos to the sound team. You guys did an incredible job once again. This is something that most times is overlooked, and honestly, it shouldn't. Telling good, short stories is oftentimes harder than long ones, but I believe there is enjoyment to be found in both. Each have their own charm. Warframe's cinematic quests are example of the first ones. The reasons why we anxiously wait for their release is due to several things. For some, it's the loot, and for the others, is the story. I'm part of that last group, because even though Warframe isn't a game known for its lore, there is something there that resonates with me, that drives me to ask questions, to read the Simari's archives, to find the 1,000-year-old fish, to complain because Sigo Sava's diary was placed behind a nonsensical grind wall. And for a lore fan like myself, the sacrifice is another special moment, where I can just go through something, no memes, no hustle, no RNG, and just enjoy. It is very hard to measure the value of something when intangible factors are placed into the equation. since said value depends, like I said at the beginning, on the eye of the beholder. And mine will always place the experience ahead of everything else. In that regard, the sacrifice delivered. It gave me what I wanted. It answered the questions I wanted answer for, while leaving the door open with new things to contemplate, with new implications to analyze and try to predict. The sacrifice isn't a surprise like the second dream was. We knew it was coming. We knew it had Umbra. But that doesn't mean that it's not without surprises. And depending on how deep you want to look, this could be few or many. I can say without the shadow of a doubt that the sacrifice is my favorite quest in the game. No contest. The second dream gave us a surprise. The War Within gave us a narrative. But in my opinion, the sacrifice gives us an experience, unlike any other in Warframe. An improvement in every conceivable aspect when trying to discern what makes a story good. For that, it is my favorite. That doesn't mean it's perfect. There are things that I didn't like, things that could be improved. But in the end, it didn't disappoint. For me, it delivered. And for my part, this is all for now. If you enjoyed the video or you found it interesting, please consider giving it a like. Don't forget to subscribe for more Warframe content and follow me on Twitter to keep up to date with everything. Again, thank you very much for watching. Wherever you are, have an amazing day. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.